Hi friends, welcome back to Cottage Kim Cooks. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm so happy to have you with me today. And today we're going to make Italian wedding soup. And I don't think it could be easier. So what we're going to start with is a pound of ground beef. I use ground sirloin. I like it pretty lean. So I'll add that. Then we're going to do a pound of pork sausage. I'm using Italian pork sausage. I looked for sweet Italian, but at the time I couldn't find it. So we'll just put that in here. And as my granddaughter just said, I would find it in the market. So I'm going to add about half of a finely diced onion, which I just dumped on the floor. I'm going to add some breadcrumbs. I'm using plain. I'm going to say about a half a cup. I'm going to add some garlic, about a teaspoon of garlic, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to add 1 egg. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. Then I'm just going to get in with my hands and mix it up. And we're going to roll these into small meatballs so that they go easily into the soup. So about that big, about quarter size. And I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet. And we're going to bake them in the oven because there's no need to stand over a hot stove and make these. We'll just put them straight in the oven. So we'll put those meatballs in the oven for about 30 minutes. And I have some leftover that I'm just going to pop in the freezer, but I want to label that. So what we're going to do next is get started on our soup. I have a new induction burner and I'm not really 100% sure how to use it. So you'll be learning with me. I'm going to put some butter in it and I'm going to saute some celery and onions. I used about a half an onion and about 6 ribs of celery. Okay, we're going to add some chicken stock. I have some that I made myself. And you want about 8 cups. So I'm going to use the rest store-bought chicken stock. And this does call for carrots. I don't have any carrots, but if you have carrots, go ahead and put those in. Okay, friends, our meatballs are done. We are going to add those to our soup. Now we're going to add some pasta to our soup. I'm going to turn up the temperature a little bit so that it gets to boiling, or at least a good simmer. And I'm adding a tiny pasta, a chini di pepe, number 64. And I'm going to add probably about a cup. If you want to keep this low carb, the pasta is not a requirement. You could go ahead and just make it without the pasta. Our next step is going to be to put in some spinach, But I'm making this for, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and my son and daughter-in-law are on their way over, and I'm making this for them. So that's why I'm definitely adding the pasta. I think it will be well enjoyed, and we'll come back and add the spinach. Okay, our pasta is done, and we are going to go ahead and add our spinach. I took a little bit out for some of my family who doesn't like spinach, and you can put as much of this as you want in here because it is going to wilt up to almost nothing. And I've already tasted the broth. It is delicious. I did add 4 more cups because it boiled down. This new induction burner is definitely high speed. So I'm going to add a little bit more spinach. Let me see if I have the nutrition information for this recipe. If I don't, I will put it in the description box below. I did find this, I did a combination of recipes. I do have the nutrition information. I did a combination of recipes. They all had the same basic ingredients. Ina Garten actually does her meatballs in the oven for 30 minutes at 350, so that's what I did. But you, like I said, can do them on the stove. I saw some people would actually drop them in raw into the broth and let the broth cook them. So you could do them that way as well and not dirty another dish. Completely up to you what you would choose to do. And this is what it looks like. Our nutrition information is for a serving, which is a bowl, which I'm assuming is about 8 ounces. We would have 396 calories. Remember, we've got the beef and the Italian sausage. We have 21.8 grams of fat, and with the pasta, we have 31.5 grams of carbs. So if you wanted to make this low carb, you would just leave out that pasta. And a lot of recipes don't use the pasta. I'm just used to eating Italian wedding soup with that tiny little bit of pasta in there. And protein is 19.7 grams, and our cholesterol is only 47.6 grams. So this is in the range that I need to be cholesterol friendly as well as diabetic friendly. I hope you enjoyed our video today, friends. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Cottage Kim Cooks. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I try to post videos twice a week. I really enjoyed our time together today, friends, and I look forward to cooking with you again soon. Take care.